Today on the Terrible Warriors, the final episode of our 4th year. You've been listening all July to the Apocalypse World, the Tuesday story of Sanctuary, the denizens and the Heartholder who had to abandon their home in a fiery explosion. And on Thursdays, the legend of Dapper Joe and his companions who had to abandon their home in a fiery explosion. And now, the final episode of Apocalypse World, recorded live at ConBravo 2017 in Hamilton, Ontario, in front of an audience of listeners and patrons and friends, and now you. So join us in room 314, The Lair, on Saturday afternoon at 1:30, when Shane Fitzgerald joined the Toronto crew with Conal, Bree, Steve, Tom, and Cassie, as Derek and Justin co-GM'd the final episode of Apocalypse World and the final episode of the 4th year of the Terrible Warriors. And today on the Terrible Warriors, we gather together both Toronto and Edmonton crews for the first time for our season finale and last episode of the Apocalypse World. Sanctuary lies in ruins and D-Town burns on the horizon. And now a convoy of refugees search for a new home led by the Mother Superior. But little do they know that a dapper gentleman follows in their wake and death follows where he goes. And an adversary thought long destroyed will make a weird return. All right, Derek, you're our other master of ceremony, so I'll let you set up what happened.
Greetings, terrible listeners. Now, I'd like to remind you of what happened previously on our Apocalypse World campaign. In Sanctuary, the hardhold of Sanctuary, led by Simon Bishop, aka Mother Superior, has come under attack by the Old Gang. Members of its hardhold who have left under the control of, oh God, what was his name again?
Oh, Taserface?
Taserface.
Taserface!
Thank you, Tom, for the suggestion.
I don't think that was
Conal. That was always
It
Conal.
was Taserface?
It was probably Conal.
Oh, yeah, you were
It was either the two of you.
I'm not sorry. Unfortunately, the convoy supposed to be bringing in supplies to Sanctuary were ambushed by the Old Gang, and they sent back a whole bunch of heads. Or at least they thought it was the Old Gang. It turned out to be the villainous men in white. Yeah, the part where the heads were burned. The heads were burned. All the burnt heads. So, they all heroically launched an assault, and it didn't go anywhere nearly as planned. Meanwhile, Pity the Brainer wound up taking over the Old Gang, and things really didn't go well there. When last we saw her, the genius Dr. Gold had set his old tech arm and his psychic maelstrom generator to explode, taking out Sanctuary.
Operation Chernobyl.
Pity and her minions in the process in what Simon Bishop dubbed Operation Chernobyl.
Well, Mother Superior basically said that if anybody was going to try to take their base, that they weren't going to have it. So at some point previously, I had told him there's like a button that don't push this button.
And he pushed the button.
And he was like, well, now it's time to push that button.
Now the people of Sanctuary are refugees, a convoy along the roads of the wasteland. Then out west in the bunker city of D-Town, Dapper Joe, his driver Ares, and their weird hobo companion anti-hero adversary tag-along.
He's always playing a hobo.
The unfunctional Grunkus. Unfortunately got into a big fight with a cult called the Carolers. And after resulting in the death of their leader, Dustwitch Kryn, we
realized the actual war on Christmas continued into the Apocalypse World.
It's true.
The Carolers were fighting a cannibalistic Santa Claus, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, their was a lot more weirder than ours.
Yeah. They went to D-Town to get supplies, during which time Dapper Joe discovered a weapon, an artifact of the mystical, legendary place called the Hammer. And
what is the Hammer, Derek?
Well, I guess they're about to find out, Justin. The Hammer is a golden land. It's a junker's paradise. The Hammer is the last free place on Earth. The Hammer is the source of the psychic maelstrom, or it's a place where the old world made their weapons. No one knows what the Hammer is.
The Hammer might not even exist, Derek.
El Dorado.
It's entirely possible
Exactly.
that it's literally just America's largest hammer.
Oh, that's a letdown.
Unfortunately for Dapper Joe and his companions, the carolers were none too happy and kind of set fire to D-Town and started murdering everybody.
Oops.
So, grabbing and using his mysterious powers to change the fate of battle, Dapper Joe named the traitor Only-Wise Grome to survive so that he could lead him to the hammer, while the unfunctional Grunkus and Ares defended his retreat. For reasons that, I don't know, apparently they just became like lovable, heroic guys all of a sudden at the end. Things happen.
Okay, so
Yeah.
who's confused about the plot yet?
So are we.
The beautiful part of the Powered by Apocalypse game is the GMs have no say on where we go. They lay out the breadcrumbs and we have to follow where we go. So we know what's going on. You don't have to know what's going on. You just have to cheer at the right moments.
We sort of know what's going
We
on.
sort of know what's going on. Before we get to Dapper Joe and what has happened with the car, we've got our starter sessions, because this is still a role-playing game. Our hard holder, you still have a hard hold, you just lost your citadel. You're out on the road. We're not going to do a scene just yet. I just want you to roll that starter session to find out if you're in surplus or want, so we can figure out what the mood is going to be.
Right.
Do you want to name this convoy? Is your hard hold got a new name? Your people, do they call themselves by anything? Or are you just the survivors along with
I think
Dr. Gold's gang?
the survivors are sanctuary. I mean, we don't really need a name just yet until we find a place.
Yeah, we're the survivors.
Yeah,
That's
survivors.
the gang I started out of the
Yeah.
people that I rescued.
Yeah, all right,
dude,
cool.
you
The
got
survivors.
I'm
Wait, am I Jeff Probst then?
All
All right, I'm rolling. All right.
Alright.
So I'm adding up my +3 hard to this, so hopefully this will be good. Oh, it's a 13.
Nice. Well, okay. Well,
You rolled well for once.
You packed up well. You brought enough food and supplies. You're doing well, and you've been weathering the storms. And the storms that were coming over Sanctuary near the end of that last episode now envelop the land. You haven't seen the sky in weeks. It's that acid storm. It's lightning. It's wind. You can't see 10 feet in front of you. And now you're in surplus, so you've got the survivor gang have become your sort of new town guard.
Did we meet up with them?
You've definitely met up.
Okay.
You all, the survivors of Sanctuary did hook up. I know we're separated
No,
in
that's
the last
fine.
episode, but weeks have passed. The survivors, by the way, the people that didn't die, that now make up the survivor gang are Baumgartner, Anderson, Neeson, Salt and Liz, the rest are dead, and of course Rempel, who was our bartender at the Caesar's Wolf, who became the community leader. He's now one of your guards who
Yes.
kind of taken up keeping, like, people look to him for support and guidance because he deals with you because you had a real good speech there at the end, but you did spend a few days like locked in your office not doing anything. So you know
and you
they're
did let a maniac at your hard hold for months and months and months. Thank you.
and Corbett is part there.
I don't see any problem with that.
Anka and Brian Lee, the people who fled Orchard, they're part of this convoy as well, but they're not part of the guards. And they're keeping their own. The good news is you're not starving. The bad news is it's really hard to breathe, and people are getting hurt regardless from the weather. You need shelter soon, and it is closing in. So
Just tell me one thing. Do we still have the fun bus?
I think the fun bus was abandoned
That's
as
the-
the laundromat.
Or is it the fun V
The
now?
Fun V.
Yes!
Which we unfortunately lost at the laundromat.
No, all you've got
along
is the
with
Orchard delivery
humdrum
truck.
V.
The Orchard delivery truck and whatever like civilian cars that the other denizens of Sanctuary have. So you don't have any battle cars. That will probably be Dapper Joe's job.
Did you want me to row Bonefield?
I would love you to roll Bonefield, and I want to know what your project is now.
I don't have a lab.
You have a lab. It's just out of the back of someone's trunk.
Yeah.
So, but like the fun, now it's the fun bus.
It's like
Fun bus, yeah.
It is a bus that all the seats
I
have
think
been
it's like
taken
the
out of.
Winchester's trunk, but with like more
Yeah.
techno nonsense.
The pre-war robotic arm that I was working on to like improve my own robotic arm, was that lost in the blast?
Yep. It was in your lab. Anything that was in your lab
I
was
tried to bring you with me.
I know. I know.
Sorry, the relic arm that was in your workshop is no longer in your possession.
You probably shouldn't have powered the maelstrom generator that you set to explode with it.
That's what you get.
I
for
had to
powering
do-
your ship by the souls of the damned.
I had to do what I had to do.
Maybe, and also Shut up. I got a 9.
You got a 9. Okay, so that means you don't get a forward in that scene. +1.
I get a hold 1.
You get that hold that the GMs or you, whoever calls it first, can make you. You can be in a scene already there, prepared with all the equipment you need. No explanation necessary.
Kicking into the door.
So we've got that for the next hour.
Okay.
So that's awesome. Do we want to go to Dapper Joe?
I think.
Oh yeah, I got to figure out.
I think at this point we're going to go to Dapper Joe as he drives along the road. Shane, you got my other car as a tank. Did you keep the minivan, or have you stolen something else along the road?
Have you upgraded the minivan along the time? Because we don't know how much time has passed since D-Town.
Yeah, I've kept the minivan just for simplicity's
Go
sake.
full Mad Max on this thing. Just armor plates.
Did you pick up Dustwitch Crin's corpse and throw it back in the van for old time's sake?
What the?
Or you just got like a talking head on the antenna?
Yeah, they weekended Birdie's cult leader.
For like 3 hours, they kept the cult leader dead in the trunk. They were going to dry him out.
No,
and
he
use
wasn't
him
in
as
the
fuel.
trunk. He was actually strapped into the back seat.
Oh yeah, to dry him out so they could use him as fuel because it was steam powered.
How is it that the Grunkus isn't even here, and for all I know he's dead, but he's still preempting me?
The Grunkus is everywhere.
There's no more Grunkus, there's no more Zeus, it's just me driving down the damn road.
Perhaps the Grunkus was an
We'll see about that. Give your eyes to the maelstrom and see what happens.
But anyway, Shane, so you got this battle wagon.
You got a battle wagon.
You have a battle wagon.
I've got a battle wagon.
Now you've been noticing coming down the road the men in white they're like wildlife now out on the landscape.
They're everywhere.
You go down the roads and you just see them sometimes by themselves, sometimes in small groups, and they're always moving forward, just burning in front of them.
The men in white wear old world hazmat suits and carry flamethrowers.
Where do they find all these suits?
That's a really good question, Tom.
I dare you to ask.
And Dapper Joe, as you're driving along, though, you see a shape loom up on the side of the road.
Also in white, but not a man in white.
Also white, but not with that distinctive hazmat silhouette. Hi, Pity.
Hi.
You're on the side of a road, and you see this armored minivan driving towards you.
Thumb out.
Yeah.
As you can all tell, her showing a little leg would be kind of redundant.
Oh.
I didn't say it's a bad thing.
I don't
Oh,
like
God.
Whoa, this is a family program for you.
No, it's not.
It's not anymore. One important
What
thing that
family?
you
The Munsters? For
Now, one important thing that you do know, however, is you drive up upon her.
Lots of horror movies have families, you know.
Yeah, is that her arm shape is mechanical.
It's actually the thumb she's holding out is metal and gold, and yes, actually, we the audience do recognize it as the arm from the workshop that was sucked into that vortex.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna help you trade up, though.
I thought I killed you and I
Stole
had
my
to
arm.
change.
Okay, anyway.
You blew me up.
Okay, guys.
Anyway.
I blew you up, alright.
Listen, we're all to blame for blowing up
blowing her up.
Sanctuary.
Except for me.
Except for Cassie.
So, Shane, what are you doing?
I wasn't even there.
The man with the black eyes was giving everyone visions. So
Yeah.
All right, what do you do? What do you do?
All right, I'm obviously lonely as hell because I've been driving like halfway across whatever. So,
Ah, yes.
so yeah, I'm gonna pull over. Let's go. Going my way.
Anyway. Get in the car.
Dapper Joe, are you
Perfect.
wearing glasses like you are at the table, or?
Okay, so the deal is, for those who don't know, Dapper Joe's got this thing, this Visions of Death thing, where basically when I roll, I have the opportunity to point at an NPC and go, that person's going to die. And it's their job to figure out how. So the way that I set it up in like part 2 of D-Town was that whenever he uses that ability, his eyes go black.
Okay, so your eyes are not currently black. That's just what I was
Right.
wondering. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Because we know, I don't know
not
if you
black
heard
all the
it,
time, just when I
Kitty
use
has
that.
seen those black eyes in the Maelstrom, but we don't know if we can connect those dots right yet.
Yeah, I'm
Not
not sure.
yet.
if I've
First
heard
time
yet.
you use that power, though, in front of her, or them, that's gonna be...
The S is going down.
Yeah, that'll be a fun moment. Anyways, I just like foreshadowing. So you arrive at the car, and you're picking up a hitchhiker. Is there anything the two of you want to say to each other before we check in with the convoy? Convoy.
Virgin earmuffs. Virgin earmuffs. Virgin earmuffs.
You are in front of a live audience. There will be a debrief later for other stuff.
I like your arm.
Nice arm. Is your gun out in the open?
I like
Joe, Dapper Joe, is your gun out in the open? Is it like on the car seat or is it in the glove box?
I've got it stored in the back.
You got it in
It's
the back.
concealed. I haven't.
Okay.
Both of them? You have 2 guns. Oh, the special gun.
Yeah, the special gun.
Can we have, like, is there a putting 2 and 2 together roll that he can do?
No, but I think we could throw a roll to. I think we could throw a roll to pity to.
Read a charge situation. I just want to know if you recognize. There's a particular detail I want to see if you recognize.
Yeah, you know what? Roll.
Roll a situation.
Roll
check.
your sharp.
Oh.
Oh, we're doing well today.
12.
Okay, he definitely notices then.
Shane, so the more you see this robotic arm as Pity gets into the van, you realize you've seen that tech before. That's the same tech the gun is made out
It's
of.
the exact same pattern. It's the exact same.
Yeah,
metal.
honestly, they could be like part of the same mechanism.
You rolled so high. Yeah, you like this thing looks like the 2 go together.
Like literally, like you might be able to slot them together.
Oh, sorry. Joe. I know you wanted that gun arm, but we'll get.
There gotta be slotting something in. I don't know.
Storyline has nothing to do with your project.
Right now.
Sour Joe, you meet this.
I'm very much an innocent victim in this situation, I think.
Me too.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. What are you talking about?
He doesn't know that.
Dapper Joe, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm going to ask her about her arm.
It was a gift from the maelstrom.
Really? I can tell just from looking at you that you're familiar with the
The
maelstrom.
last we saw Pity, dear listeners, she was being vaporized Game of Thrones style in a big fiery explosion when Sanctuary went up. There's no reason she should be anything less than like atomic dust. And yet here she is on the side of a road with
My
gold
stuff.
arm.
Do you want to go back to the convoy now?
Alright, so the 2 of you meet, you get into the car, there's that, you've made that connection. Back at the convoy, I have a few things. Gold's got his hand up, we can get to you. I also wanted to see if Magnolia wanted to deal with, I got it right this time, you've got a lot of people that are having a hard time breathing, getting sick, coughing.
Yep.
If you want to move around and help them out, or if you want to hold back for now and we give you that battlefield soon.
Yeah, no, I mean, people are in trouble. I want to help them.
Okay, but what could you, do you want to let Cassie have a moment with
Yeah,
Magnolia?
no, go ahead, go. Yeah, you go first, because you just asked me about the workspace.
Does
so I
anyone
wanted
want to walk
confirm
around
that.
with the angel as they check in on the people in the convoy?
Me.
I can go.
Okay, so Nelson is a part of that, and Gold, you're following. You've come to a stop for the day. The engine on the few cars you have, they're all crapping out, and the dust is getting into them. So more and more people are having to abandon vehicles and go on foot. Things are getting desperate. Now, we're in surplus, so we've got stuff to survive, but it's still not looking good. There's no light at the end of this tunnel, and the storms are not letting up. And every now and then, you see flames coming through the fog, and you've been attacked a number of times by the men in white, and you've been able to just shoot guns and scare them away. Like, they're more animals than bandits. These don't behave anywhere close to...
They don't raid.
Like
they
what
don't take
the
things.
old gang was like.
Yeah.
You hear vehicles out there, and there may be some survivors of the old gang, but it's impossible to tell because the storms are so heavy, you can't see the horizon anymore.
The only light you get is off the fires and off the like crackling blue lightning in the clouds. Lightning's not even coming down. It's just
In the clouds.
every few seconds you're getting bolts of lightning in the clouds.
It's sheet lightning.
And
Yeah.
for God's sakes, keep your skin covered, because when the rain pours down, it burns. So this is not good. Magnolia!
Yes.
Hi!
Wow, it sounds loud.
One of the first people you come across to meet is Corbett and his kid, the one that they shuttled out of Orchard.
Right.
Kid's not doing well, and they have nothing to treat, and they're just having a hard time breathing, and there's been a lot of coughing going on. But the other members of Corbett's family are not around. Also, there you've got the other guards. They've got masks over. They've been pushing more to have more materials for them because they need to keep everyone safe. So they should be getting more stuff and more stimulants and whatever to stay awake and keep watch, and better, cleaner filters on their masks. There's some tension here because the civilians. Gold's got his hand.
I've got a mask that I usually wear, like a breather mask. I can try to replicate those for other people. And how are the filters doing as well?
Not good. They're all clogged.
They clog fast. Okay, so part of my work is going to be making new filters and making more masks for folks.
All right.
If I can, just to help you out.
That would be much appreciated.
Cool.
Yay!
It is done.
Hey, teamwork.
Now you have your stocks on your angel kit are full, but you can spend just if you want to help out this kid and other people, we can mark off stock as we go.
Yeah.
And I just want to give this is what you have an angel for here, right? Like they're all looking to you because no one knows how to deal with this kind of air. They're suffocating.
Yeah.
We don't have a doctor.
She's your doctor.
I'm the best you got.
Except for you.
She is your doctor.
Can't you have an angel? What the
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. How many stocks should I use up?
Let's go 2 for each member of the family. Just enough, again, like inhalers and things like that. Give them some clean oxygen that you have. Do we want to bring in the people that we had inside who were...
Yeah, I think we're getting towards that time.
So the mother returns, and we had written down you hear, actually, the mother just down through some of the other makeshift tents we set up, someone's giving a speech. And they're preaching out on how this is our punishment.
I can do it for you.
You want to do that?
Heed now my words, brothers and sisters. The world is crumbling around us as it has for years, and now we are seeing it destroyed even more. This is truly a glorious time, though, for the world is poison, the world is ruin, the world is wreckage, and it is being sucked into the maelstrom of sanctuary. It is being sucked into the vortex, where it will be remade again into a paradise.
And they're going around with collected acid water, and they're marking it on their foreheads and burning into their forehead, and they're calling themselves the penitent.
Okay, if our heart holder doesn't do something about this, I'm going to do something about this, and you might not like the things I do about this.
I'm okay with you do what you gotta do.
Steve.
Yes.
You're the heart holder. This is your job. You gotta do the thing.
He's got to go sit in his office in front of it.
There's a partition in the van. Just his office on it.
Yeah, and he just sits in there and looks sad.
How many are there of these penitent?
Of the 75 sanctuary, not everyone has made it in the weeks out there, right? People have gone missing from these bandit raids, and people go out to scout and they just don't return into the storms. So you're down to 65. You've lost about a dozen. Of them, the penitent is growing. It's about a third of your group. There's and more every day as the storms get worse and there's no hope in the future. They're starting to really believe we did this to ourselves, and maybe we should let the world end and let it rebuild in a new life.
Do I know who?
No, I mean the priest.
Oh, I don't have a name for the priest.
Well, we gotta.
Who wants to be? Let's find out who the priest is.
Let's find out who our priest is. Our priest is named Lucas. We're just gonna call him Lucas.
Lucas. Yeah.
So I know. Do I know that Lucas is the one in charge of?
Yeah, Lucas is. He's not hiding it. He'd been at the part of the sanctuary before, never really made a name for himself. But since he's been on the road, more and more people, as he started spouting this new dogma, they listen. They listen to him, and they're all. People are putting these marks in their foreheads. Lucas was the first to do that. Now more and more are wearing it, so it's not a secret organization. It's a very much growing cult.
Okay. Could I be able to have a meeting with Lucas?
So, how are you meeting him? Are you asking him to come to you, or are you going to him?
No, I'd rather have him come to me.
You're gonna come into the office in the van.
Okay. No, it's not an office, it's a van. No. I want basically my head of security to be able to escort him to me.
Okay. Well, your head of security escorts him, but there's at least 10 of the penitent following behind.
Okay.
And he's keeping them calm. He's like, brothers and sisters,
None of the members of the penitent are the members of the survivor gang. They
No.
all sort of remain true to loyal to you.
Yeah. I will go forth and I will convince the Mother Superior of the righteousness of our beliefs. And he will join us. He will join with us in welcoming the true end of the world.
He's saying this while I'm there?
Oh, yeah.
He wants everyone to roll over and take a drink of the rain.
Yeah.
Breathe deep and let everyone die.
Oh, yeah. And he's not wearing a gas mask. He's wheezing every once in a while.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in this room?
No, I just wanted to suggest you could tell them about some nice Kool-Aid that they can use for this.
Do we have Kool-Aid in the apocalypse?
Well, he's here in front of you, Steve. He reaches you.
And he's
help
given
them
this
along with
pitch.
their quest.
Yeah.
Like,
Lucas?
we should stop searching for shelter and just die.
Lucas, I appreciate you coming to see me. I understand that you've been speaking to the survivors, and I appreciate you bolstering the spirits. However, you're causing more of a disturbance than you are helping, I'm afraid.
I am giving these people comfort.
That sounds like, do you want to give an order and roll your leadership?
Do it.
Yeah, I do.
Do it.
We'll see how well this works. Or do you want to, and then we can also roll to read a character and you can ask questions about what's really going on.
Which do you want me to do first?
First, your leadership, because you just told him to do something. We've got to see if he follows through.
Alright, let's see how I do.
That looks like a 1.
It's 6.
Excellent.
Miss.
We get to play a hard move now.
Yeah.
So I'm actually moving the penitent's threat chart up because they're going to take on, after this, they're actually going to take on more members as they see him as the true, real leader.
They start, like the 10 guys who are following start rattling in the background. They're like, oh no.
I've got a great hard move. They bring in Corbett's kid, and they've taken his medication away, and it's got a mark on his head. And it's like, we're going to everyone needs to just roll over and let this happen. There's no stopping the true end of the world. This is the
end of the world has already happened.
No,
we're trying to survive.
That was the false
There's no
brother.
second
That was
apocalypse.
the false end.
This
is the true end.
This is the end of the story where the book closes and we start a new one. And he's ready to just embrace it and write the end.
All
I
souls
refuse
will be
to believe
purified
that.
in the vortex.
I absolutely refuse to believe that
In
you
fact,
think that this is the end of our story.
They want to
We are
return.
here to survive. We've already experienced the world's biggest apocalypse that we've ever seen, and you want to be able to make it even worse? What the fuck is wrong with you?
They want to shoot flares in the air and bring in the men white.
And I go to reach out for Corbett's son, and I bring him to me.
Oh, okay.
And I want to be able to summon. I want to be able to summon Magnolia.
Roll hard.
I'm going to.
To seize by force.
They also
wait,
want
that
to, the members of this cult want to break free of the hard hole and head back to Sanctuary.
That looks decent.
They want to
that
go back
is
to the
a
crater.
12.
That's where they want to
Got
die.
a 12.
So you take the kid, you lock him in, you get Magnolia to under lock and key. Corbett is missing, and all you've got is Brian Lee, and you're no idea where Ankha's gone, and this cult is getting aggressive. But you successfully get the kid and you lock him away, and I guess the survivors are on high alert, and Dr. Gold looks after that. We want to get to a moment where the convoy is going to move and arrive at a scene where Dr. Joe's going to come in. Gold's got his hand up, so where is that? Marka absolutely take an improvement though. That was kick-ass. Are you leveled up yet?
Not yet.
Every time again, still rules apply. Every time you roll with a highlighted stat, mark an improvement.
Yeah, I already have so.
Mr. Gold.
Alright, so
Dr.
two things.
Gold.
Where did you get your
One, I just want to get the workspace projects thing out of the way really quickly.
Yes.
I have a relic of the Golden Age past, originally part of my old one, but it was destroyed.
That was the art.
Yeah. Could I have picked up another piece as we were going along? To
Not
include the new one?
really within
No?
the context of the short game.
Not
that
for
we're
the
running here.
narrative.
That's fine. So Weird Ass Electronica.
The arm is
and
still
Machine
yours,
Tools is
and
fine.
it's probably going to come back to near you soon.
Oh yeah. And in terms of projects, it's just trying to recreate the generator that he had before. Like,
Oh, that worked so well the
from
first
what
time.
he learned, it worked great until somebody pushed the button. But yeah, so thing number 2.
Okay.
Are these people gathered around his office, man?
Well, after he sees the kid, they're actually starting to disperse, but they're dispersing as a group.
Yeah, they're getting more organized, and they're starting to like section themselves off into like specific vehicles on the side, and they're starting to like hoard resources for their journey back to Sanctuary.
Okay, so fuck it. All right, and they're just walking away from Steve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He storms out of the van.
And Corbin's missing.
Gone. You haven't seen him since Magnolia went to treat the kid.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just I've given orders to Magnolia to kind of like make sure that the kid's going to be safe, no matter what.
Mark down Ward in your gear and items.
Me or
no, Magnolia. Magnolia's got a
youthful ward.
Yeah,
that works
ward.
so well for Batman.
So Gold marches over with the members of the survivors gang that he's got with him, lumbering along with his one like clanky mechanical leg, and he lumbers up to the person who's in charge, because there's obviously this one dude in charge.
Yes.
And he tries to grab him
Thank you, Lucas.
by the face with his mechanical arm.
Oh!
Is he rolling? I think he's rolling go aggro.
Go aggro. Roll
Alright.
harder. Do you have different aggros as a...
No, I get to roll weird for hard stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, dude.
Ladies.
Ooh, 8, 9, 10.
Well, you get it, so you grab him by the face. What
Alright,
do you want to
so
do?
grabs him by the face and pulls him in, and he's got the breather still on. He's like, now you listen to me.
Okay, Bane.
Batman. I was born in the apocalypse. Born in the bank.
You have his attention.
Yeah. The world's already over. We're moving together to try and survive. Life, even after the end, is going to continue testing people, and he turns to everyone else who's in the group there. And it's our job to either wither back and die, or keep going forward.
What is your hot stat?
Hot is +1.
Roll for that, because you're manipulating. You're trying to change and sway their opinions.
7.
He's gonna get it, but with
Still
consequence.
I think he may have to kill Lucas to get it.
Yeah, you're starting to convince the crowd, but Lucas is a true believer. And he's not, as long as he's there, the penitent will not lose their numbers.
We love you, Lucas!
And he looks at him.
But you're a dick!
The solution is not going back. Or I could just do this now and make it easy and just squeezes his head.
Okay, roll your roll again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if you get it low. You're gonna kill him anyways. I just have a few bad.
This is what they should have done in Game of Thrones.
I think you've been hanging out too much.
8. Okay, so you're gonna get it, but with consequence. As you begin to squeeze him, before he has a chance to die, that rain bucket full of acid that he has, he splashes onto you.
Oh, you fucker.
Take 2 harm as you just start to burn in front of them.
Alright.
I want to turn you into Two-Face as well. Batman rogues. Oh,
nope, that was me.
You're connected. So
I'm at 6 o'clock.
So you're at 6 o'clock, and you've been hurt.
Thing. Okay.
And but
I just acid though just turns to the rest of the people like, are we done?
Alright, mark down a bunch of improvement, and I'm gonna give it back to Derek.
Non-discriminate, like, just like whatever you want for improvement, mark it all down.
Just do it.
Just do it. It was great.
We're gonna throw back to. We're gonna get everything back on the move now. We're gonna throw
on the road again
to Dapper Joe and Pity, and you actually start. This is when our 2 groups of people are about to converge. Is you're driving along 2 different roads, but you start climbing up a long, winding mountain road almost. But you can't see the sides, and you can't see the top.
You've got a sheer like cliff wall along one side, and the other side, because of the storms, it's just like infinity. You don't know how far of a drop it is, and you've been working your way up through this cut path. It cuts through the rock. Part of the old world somehow survived. There's cracks all over it, landslides. It's treacherous to move the car, but you're taking your time. You're moving around it.
And if you guys continue at this speed, the convoy and the battle wagon are going to meet up with each other. And something looms out of the rock in front of you.
Blinking like electrical light.
Yeah, it's blinking blue light. And as the convoy pulls up, and as the battle wagon pulls up, You can see, literally inscribed into the stone, it's weathered, and it's full of like soot and the last remains of lichen, are 2 words. Project Hammer.
Roll credits, we did.
We're done. Thank you for coming.
For the listeners and for the players, this looks like a bunker.
Or like an access tunnel in the side of the road.
Yeah.
Or a vault. Or a vault.
Or a vault.
It's like a big old, it's a rusted metal door with a latch over it, and it's cut in almost like the entrance to a mine or bunker, but it's in the cliff face wall.
And let's see what happens as the battle wagon pulls up to the convoy. Shane?
Hello.
Hello.
Pity, stay here. I'm gonna see if I can get us some shields.
Okay.
Nelson's a part of the convoy,
So
correct?
Nelson's in the convoy. You're all together. Bishop and the survivors of Sanctuary. You're making your way up this road, and Dapper's coming down.
Yeah.
And so you meet
Right.
partway. You see the blinking light before you see each other. Maybe there's a bit of a standoff between the survivor gangs, but we won't have anyone opening fire because that just takes too much time. You can tell it's not the men in white. You can tell it's not like a roving gang. It's just a car that looks to have 2 passengers, but everything's covered in like this acid methane film over all the glass. You can't see the occupants of the car just yet. Dapper Joe, you see some people are on foot, some people are being carried. There's 1 or 2 vehicles left, and they're just marching somewhere, like on a death march to find a new safe place to hide. And this might be the first real shelter you have seen since leaving Sanctuary. And people are starting to like drop their things and like set up camp because maybe we can get into this place and we can be out of the storms.
Can I be able to quickly like ask Nelson a question?
He's right there.
Yeah. Well, no, I know. I just wanted to. I have given you an offer if you want to be able to join my gang or my security team. You can be able to pick out any people in your team as you want, and I kind of like an elite force. If you kind of go into danger situations that on my security team can't go into, I leave that offer up to you. You decide if you want to take it or not.
I mean, you are already a one-man army. But
You
the
are,
Gunlugger, you have the option of bringing on like 4 or 5 additional people as your strike team.
Where do I have to go?
You're part of my game.
Right now, I would like for you to be able to check out this little bunker. Basically, kind of like make sure that it's going to be safe, because obviously we have our convoy of people that I want to make sure they're going to be okay. It's up to you.
But you don't have a lot of time.
You don't have a lot of time. We've got 25 minutes. So you you can decide who wants to, because I can guarantee you Dapper Joe has been searching for this place. He's going to go in there, correct, Shane? Like, you're going through that door. So this is now a decision. Who wants... It would be nice if all of you went into the cave, but if you want to just send your gunlugger, that will be the scene as we go through into...
No, I'll go in.
How much security do we have in our actual camp right now?
You have 8 members of the gang, and then the rest are... You've got 55 people, civilians. You've lost Lucas.
Well, actually, you look back. You thought you had 55 people. You only have about 30 now.
Oh no, where's the last car?
What?
Yeah, where's the last car? You swore you saw it in your rearview mirror. It's gone.
When you come to a stop, you're missing one of the vehicles. You've lost 10 more people, and so you're dropping numbers. Maybe it's time to get out of the storm. It's hard to tell in the storms.
Okay.
And
They could be still coming. They just maybe
they might be behind,
Okay.
or you might never see them again. It's hard to tell, and it's too risky, I think, to send anyone out to find them. It's just you got to stick together. Think the armada of ships in Battlestar Galactica. Sometimes you just lose your civilian ship.
Yeah.
Are we all together as men?
Yes.
You're all together. Do you all want to go into this cave together, or do you want to send one person to scout ahead? You keep in mind that we have 22
Well,
minutes.
I'm following Dapper Joe in, so maybe does someone see something that he recognizes?
Okay. So the
my God.
passenger...
Model your face.
You none of you talks to this car. This man in an old world suit comes out. The only person who ever got a vision of them was Pity. Comes out and big, like exactly like the hat that Shane's wearing right now. big old-fashioned fedora and a nice like suit, dirty but like old, well-tailored, well-fit.
And he is well armed.
And well-armed, comes out of the car, doesn't say anything or pay any attention to the stragglers of the sanctuary survivors, and goes to this door, brushing back the number of the hammer. Right? You have found it, Dapper Joe. You found this place.
Before I get out of the car, I'm grabbing the gun out of the back.
Awesome.
Great.
And he has this, like, Conal, you would thus also recognize it. It's the same tech the arm is made out of. For all you know, it could be a configuration of the arm.
And then you hear a car door slam shut, and there she is. There they are. It's Pity. You are all standing there at the front where you see...
Did I know she was in that explosion?
Yeah. You all find out she's been gone. You know she betrayed the group and joined up with Taser and went to Sanctuary and then hasn't been seen since.
Immediately I pull out both my guns and point it directly at her.
Okay, who wants to read the charge situation? Or...
Roll.
Me?
You're at the doors to the hammer. All the answers are on the other side, but first I guess you got to deal with Pity.
I literally just want to go in the door.
Do you say that?
No.
Oh.
Not
Doesn't
saying
say
anything.
anything. Just standing there.
I want to go in this door now.
Sure.
Okay, so 10.
All right, so you get to ask a number of questions to the MCs when you're reading a situation. And we've got, like, Bishop has already drawn weapons. And I guess the guards that he follows have also drawn out weapons.
Yep.
Dapper Joe, you now have a small group of not well-trained people pointing weapons at you. And
Here's my question to Dapper Joe as well. Do your eyes turn?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
because my plan right now is I want to help these people get in, because if I help them get in, I get in.
Okay.
Pity, is there anything you want to do before things get worse? No? No? Okay.
No, I'm just staring him down.
Gold, what are you doing? You had your hand up. You were...
God. Yeah, no. So,
Oh no.
so Gold lumbers out of his like tech bus and kind of like leans back on his robotic leg and kind of narrows his eyes over at Pity and goes,
Look at the arm.
walking around with my stuff.
Pity, you don't remember what happened after the explosion, but you suspect
Just woke up
somehow
with an
this
arm.
arm is the only reason you're alive. There was a flash of light, intense burning and pain, and then you're on the side of a road with a metal arm and a car driving towards you. You literally came to just as Dapper Joe was driving up. You don't know how you got there. It's not the first time you've gotten lost in the maelstrom.
No, I
probably
was just
won't be
less
the
bored
last.
this time.
But you somehow you know that this arm brought you here, brought you back. You don't know why. That's all. I just wanted to
Yeah.
give you that information.
Yep.
So
Would you like to
know.
do anything else?
Well, that's the thing though, is especially considering that Gold's like prime directive a lot of the time is that tech and the interest in strange people. He would just kind of stand there and stare and then just be like, we are going inside. Are you coming with us?
Before you have a chance to answer, the MCs have decided to accelerate the thing and make things more complicated. Bullets start being fired from beyond the clouds into the walls above the door of Hammer, from behind all of your people, Bishop. That missing car was captured by the old gang remnants.
Ah,
and
son
they're
of a
moving
bitch.
in, guns out, and there are just open fire on people. They're running now towards you. They're running towards the door and they're starting to crush. They need to get out. They want to hide in there because there's nowhere to hide out here.
Right.
You're on an open overpass on the side of a cliff, and the gang is marching up, being led by Taser's lieutenant, Old Jack. You've never met him, but you've heard of him. And
He's got furs
All right.
over his shoulders.
He's just a real hard ass from the rusted wheel, and he's leading the people who survived the destruction outside of Sanctuary, and they're just shooting down everyone.
I
Dapper
ordered.
Joe's eyes turn.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Dapper Joe's eyes turn black,
Oh, shit.
and the first, and like Old Jack, upon seeing that, his entire gang literally just stops.
Yes. They're all fleeing this man. The whole gang was formed from people who were running
In the
away from
distraction,
the
I'm getting Nelson, I'm getting Magnolia to basically help bring in as many, like, trying to be able to open the vault door and get in as many people as possible.
The door doesn't resist. It was just latched closed,
Okay.
but it seems to it's not even rusted. It's not wedged. It's like oiled. It's strange. It looks older than it seems to feel as you open it, and it opens without resistance.
Yeah. Okay.
The door, as you shepherd everyone in, Bishop, and you're not even gonna have to make an order at this point because people are just running.
Yeah.
You go down this passageway cut into the ground, and it opens into a room. And I want you to, if anyone's played Horizon Zero Dawn, all these bunkers full of like limestone stalagmites, like dripping into it over time. And it's weird, there's lighting set into the walls that still works. It flickers, but it still works. And
except the one thing at this end of this hallway, Joe, you're out there. Do you follow in with the crush of the people?
Okay, well, when Dapper Joe's eyes turn, that means I'm rolling for my visions of death, and I just rolled an 11.
Okay, you just rolled an 11. Who dies?
Old Jack.
So he's coming forward. He's got his spurs out and his weapon. I just built off of this real badass with this backstory that we wrote, and he just starts coughing blood as all the air from around him and some of the men are shooting. There's ricochet bullets start hitting him, and like everything that could be unlucky goes wrong, and then a rock slide comes down and just
literally just lands on him like Looney Tunes style.
Rocks fall. Now hold up, because the way it works is if I roll a 10 plus, I choose an NPC to die, and I choose an NPC to live.
Yeah, who lives?
Literally anyone from the gang besides Old Jack can live, but I want him to be within an inch of his life because I want to kill him myself.
Ichi lives within an inch of their life.
Hey, Ichi, you're not dead yet.
We will in a minute.
Ichi was like Old Jack's squire, or like the equivalent of.
Well, it's like one of the bullets is coming at the gang. It actually bounces off his helmet and hits Jack just before the rock slide hits him.
And when the rock slides, there's a lot of Jack that's splashed up onto Ichi.
Yeah, and Ichi's just got this dent in the side of him. He's like, what the hell?
I guess Ichi's in charge now. You got Old Jack on you. So
anyway, you guys are going in?
Yep.
So because the only reason I want to describe it is before that.
Yeah, before that, Joe walks up to the squire, walks up to Ichi, takes out Melody, his handgun, points it right at his face, and just goes, "When you started this plan, did you feel safe?"
Ooh. Did you feel safe, Ichi? No. No, I don't.
Bang.
Okay.
Ed shoots him.
So because of that, the only reason I was asking is that means Dapper Joe's entering the cave last. So the group of you with your people crush in. Pity, did you follow in?
I think Pity's in love.
So Pity and Joe will come in afterwards. As you're going through the tunnel, you come into a room and there's one equipment that's not powered up. It doesn't activate. And then as Joe and Pity make sure there's no time to deal with fucking Pity. And you're here and in comes Joe. And when Joe enters the room, the TV turns on.
And
it like powers up.
Shane, I'm going to pass you a note. I want you to open this up halfway through the message that's about to be played. Do not read it yet.
Where's that speaker I gave you?
It's on the table right there.
Yes, it is.
I have a special presentation from Terrible Warriors who could not be here.
As you're all really going to be super confused, but Dapper Joe walks into the room and the TV turns on and a message begins to start.
What you see is you see a couple of people in scavenger gear. And it looks like they're setting up a video camera. It's real fuzzy, but make sure this.
I think it's this button, man. No, it's the other button. Oh, shit, it's wrong. Okay. You go first. Hi, it is I, radio DJ personality extraordinaire, Pastor Cage. And I'm Dr. Apex Fritz. And this is a message to any recursors that find it or come across it. Yeah, so we were chasing a robot through various different recursions. Oh, we should know who we are. We're with the Carter Morrison estate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We were, like I said, we were chasing this robot. It was it had some sort of weird can. What was the name of the can? It's not an inapposite gate can. Yeah, that's it. It's a very technical term. Look, it was very bad stuff, and we destroyed the robot. But the parts of the robot are completely toxic to this recursion. And they're still here, man. That gun like pops holes in reality, and there's like an arm that I think some guys were passing like a warship or something. Yeah, it was super weird. So like, if you're hearing this message, but please, for the love of all that is holy, translate back out, or if you really feel adventurous, go and destroy those last pieces.
Yeah, man, because we're going to bring this whole place down. There's already holes right out to the strange, man. That's dark matter on matter. Not a good scene.
We would do that ourselves, but we're down a teammate and another one's injured, so we have to recurse out and count our losses here.
And Richter, man, if you find this, sorry, bro.
Yeah, hopefully you find my Lego too. Like, that's really important. Find that.
Shane, as you're watching this video,
Dapper Joe is visibly annoyed, although he doesn't know why.
Oh, you find something inside your coat, and it's an old, crumpled up business card. And I passed Shane a note, and I'd like Shane to read what's on that card.
Oh, man.
Notes.
Detective Richter McCree, Seattle Police Department.
And
Has
Shane,
anybody here listened to our Strange campaign?
Shane, I want you to roll me weird.
Two people.
Shane, roll weird to peer into the psychic maelstrom.
You don't even get a choice. This is just going to happen to you.
5.
Uh-oh. So everyone now in this room is pulled into the maelstrom at the moment Dapper Joe realizes he's not Dapper Joe. He's...
Well, you remember it, Shane, as if you had two sets of memories at the same time.
Except everyone else is going to experience these memories as well because he rolled a 5, so he fucked it up. So you're all pulled in. And you realize the world you're in is not the world you thought it was. It's one of many worlds out in a storm of worlds. And it's hard for you all who don't listen to the strange to know what's going on, except this world is like a bubble that's shrinking and dying. And it's dying because of someone like him who got into this world with objects that didn't belong here. And he doesn't remember, but he's not from the apocalypse world. He's from Earth. He's from Seattle. And is part of a group of people who travel to these different worlds, taking out threats to Earth. And you just happen to be in one of those recursions as it's collapsing down on itself. And in the same way that Pity saw the maelstrom as like bad videotape images that were like shuddering around, you start seeing these fractal images of other worlds beyond this one. All memories that Shane's character from The Strange has experienced. Doesn't mean a lick of sense to you, doesn't mean anything to anyone in this room, because we're cutting deep into Terrible Warriors. And when you come back out into the cave, all you know for sure is this world is about 10 minutes before it ends. and it's coming to an end.
But there is the possibility that you can stop it.
And as the message said, there's a gun and there's an arm, and there's this guy who doesn't belong in this world who brought them here.
We know that?
And the last thing you'll see in the maelstrom is the remnants of Sanctuary is a vortex that's sucking the world in like a drain at the bottom of a bathtub. And it's the center of this storm, just pulling everything in, lightning and flame. And in the center of where that cathedral used to be is just a dark void into what you now know is called the Strange. It's your Mount Doom, if you're looking for a good, easy place to destroy things that can't be destroyed. So you're all confused. You're back in the cave.
Okay,
the
we're
TV
back in
turns
the cave.
off. It wasn't plugged into anything. It shouldn't have any power. There's nothing in the VCR. And there's just smoke coming out the top of it.
I am going to kick Pity. In doing so, I'm going to put my foot down and pin her into the ground and try to rip the arm off of her.
Okay, so you are taking something by force.
Yes.
Roll hard.
Wait, no, that's mine. You break that arm and we're all going to die.
Would you like to interrupt that roll, Pity?
Yeah, I'd like to grab him by the ankle with my violation glove
So
and in-brain puppets.
roll. What's your history that you had left over with Nelson?
+3.
So roll your history with Nelson to counter that move as well.
Deal.
8.
Okay, what did you roll, Tom?
I got 7.
So it drops you at the 8 down to a 6. So the Pity's going to have the control. You go to kick her, Bowler, grabs your ankle with her violation glove.
Okay.
That's the name in the book. What happens with the violation glove now? You're planting a command?
Yeah, I'm just telling him to stop.
Yeah, just let go.
No, just stop, like freeze. Just.
If you accept the command, no harm will come to you. If you try to fight through it, you'll take harm. Or if you accept the command...
I'm fighting through it.
Okay, so mark harm, and you're ignoring the command, but you're hit with like the worst migraine you've ever felt, and everyone else can see like blood coming out of his nose. as he's going to still try and keep you down, but he's working through the pain. What do you do?
I'm gonna keep trying.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to push. I'm trying to pin her down on the floor and rip her metal arm off.
You're going to need help from anyone else who wants to viciously mutilate Pity.
I would like to
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
I'd like to remind everyone that in battle I count as a small gang.
I mean, there is that.
That is true.
That is fair.
What do you say, Derek?
I'd say if he can get the roll, he can take it off, but we only
I'm not
have,
rules lawyer, I'm just pointing it out.
Roll one more harder. This is it. You got her.
Would anyone like to help me? Bueller?
No,
not really.
No. Oh no, that doesn't look like
I got 7.
Oh, you got 7. All right. Sorry, Pity. It was a good arm while it lasted, but it takes off from parts of the metal and it rips out like at the elbow. The arm went all the way up, so she still has like bits of the arm. But you take hey, maybe you'll get your arm back, Gold. Okay, so you got her arm. You can see that this dapper Joe had you had the gun out. You weren't hiding it.
Right.
Yeah. So you're starting to put it all together now. You've got all your Sanctuary refugees, but you can see through the door of the bunker, the light of Sanctuary is starting to glow through the clouds. You're not actually that far. If Sanctuary is right here, you're just up on the escarpment. That's actually because we're setting
Sanctuary is literally starting to pull the clouds into it.
Oh no. And as the storms move in, another thing Maelstrom would have shown you that on the very edges of the storm are the men in white, and they're actually burning the world away. There's nothing past them anymore. That's the edge of the world as this place is collapsing down. And at the center point is now this vortex at Sanctuary.
I'm also going to ask Dapper Joe over here, what are you doing in all this?
First of all, I'm wondering why the freaking military grunt idiot who's obviously named Rocky is trying to rip apart the thing we need to get the hell out of this place. Because obviously I've got the gun we need, she's got the equipment we need, he knows how to put it all together, and I apparently had some idiots in a parallel universe to beat the crap out of
Well, they did say that the arm and the gun needed to be destroyed.
I was to say, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, isn't that what they said on the tape?
That's what they said on the tape.
Yeah, the arm and the gun need to be destroyed in order to save this world.
Yeah. If no one's stopping me at the moment, I'm taking the arm back to Manuel.
Okay, I believe this is yours.
I'm just like, whoa.
That was actually the exact line I was going to use.
All right.
Okay, in that case, I just toss him the gun and translate.
You're exiting?
Yeah.
So
wait.
We were friends, man.
Okay. Does he have to roll for that?
At this point in the game, I'm going to give it to him.
So the man, the dapper man, takes the gun. This is now up to.
As they say in Canada, peace out.
He tosses the gun and says, "Good luck," and vanishes.
Yeah, he literally fades away like a Star Trek transporter. Shane, you reappear in Seattle with the crowds at the base of the Space Needle. You are A-OK.
Alright, so we got one escape. So he's gone. It's now just the 5 of you. It's back to Sanctuary again. Reunited, and it feels so good.
Does it really, Justin? Does it really?
What do you do?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea what the fuck is even going on.
I'm so sorry.
I'm actually going to walk up to Maggie and, like, her arm's been ripped off.
Medic!
Alright.
I know this is what you do.
What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Sew it up, but don't be kind about it.
It's cool. I've been dead before.
This isn't really my department.
To be
I
fair,
just want you to do what you
What do we
always
do?
do.
To be fair, she's the only subject that this arm has successfully grafted to.
Oh, so wait. Only he disappeared? The gun and the arm is
He
still here?
tossed the gun and then walked out.
Oh.
He tossed the gun to me, so I'm standing there holding a bloody arm and a gun like, oh, shit.
Technically, it's half the arm because he
Oh, you
did it
pulled
at the
off.
elbow.
Well,
but
it's
still
enough of
here.
the arm, we'll say.
It's enough of the
However, you do have 5 minutes remaining on the Doomsday Clock.
We're almost at midnight. It's all on you, Gold.
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Gold turns to the rest of the party and says, I've got a plan.
Do you?
We will remind you, Conal.
go on a high note, turn yourself into a pickle.
Is it as good as your moon shoes plan?
At any time, you can just roll bone field and be where we need to be.
And you know what?
Unless you bring the troop with you.
Actually,
I think it
rode
like
bone field, so I could totally fucking do that.
And do you twirl like a little like invisible mustache? I've got a
It's
plan.
literally not on his face.
You fucking say that shit about me and my moon shoes, but they fucking worked, okay? Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna cash in my bone field that I got earlier.
And often are right. If they do what you say, you gotta get a lot of
Yeah,
experience.
and often are right, yeah. So this is my plan, and it's basically I'm gonna use that hold to use the gun and the arm to try and destroy each other.
How do you want to destroy each other?
Shoot the arm with the gun?
The gun doesn't work. It has no power.
I mean, you could plug the arm into the gun and then run off the arm's power.
Can I do that?
I guess that's roll a situation.
Well,
Ask the GM some questions, but
He has the bone field, which means he has all the necessary equipment to do what he needs to do.
if you can justify it, you can do it.
Okay. So then, yeah, he's just like kind of looking over the arm. He's looked it over many times, but now that he has the gun with him, he's like, oh wait.
They fit together.
Okay. This goes, and then that. All right, and
The
then.
little fingers kind of clash
Yeah, the little
in.
fingers like clapping. Oh yeah, that's gross. And he's gonna try to basically fire the gun at itself if he can, just like rig it to self-destruct.
Okay.
Put the power into a feedback loop and just have
That's
it
fine. You may want to get really the fuck far away before you do that.
Oh, okay. So then, fuck it. I'm gonna.
So it's down to the ground. It's going.
Oh yeah.
Incidentally, what starts happening is you turn the gun on. The front of the gun, a scientist might recognize this as slowly opening a gate into a white hole.
Fractals. You're seeing
Yeah,
images
yeah.
of itself folding in over itself as it's like mirrors are kind of going out. Like, you know in Portal when you put a portal on a portal and it just goes forever?
I have an idea. Okay, so the world is collapsing in on itself, right?
Well, it's specifically now on this gun.
Okay, and Sanctuary is just outside.
Down the cliff. Yeah.
Sanctuary is amazingly so much closer than it was a minute ago.
Are you going to throw the exploded gun into the maelstrom?
Okay, you're gonna have to get into Dapper Joe's old car and at least drive down the road in some kind of epic final moment.
Do I know how the car works? Because I was.
You know how the car works.
I drive the fucking car.
You know how the kill switches work. You need pity.
Yeah.
Drive the car. Let's do it.
Does anybody else have anything to say or do before this happens?
So as the gun's going, and you've got like some days you don't know what to do with a bomb, and Pity's in the car going, get in the car, let's go.
If you get in the car if you
All
want to
I
live.
say is, good luck. Make sure you're back by midnight.
Okay, so am I given to understand this right? That it is just Dr. Gold and Pity driving into the vortex with an exploding bomb.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, survivors of Sanctuary, you see off in the distance as Dapper Joe's car begins to glow brighter and brighter, and the fractals, it starts becoming like Doctor Strange level stuff, where like there are 5, then 10, then 100 cars going off into the horizon, driving down, condensing into the singularity at the center of Sanctuary.
Pity is nonplussed. I was just dead. This is fine.
Then the clouds.
Been there, done that. Got a T-shirt.
Can we do the thing where like Gold with his spare arm fucking pulls the e-brake and we do like a 6 spin and he like whips it up the window?
Yeah.
It's like The Rock with a torpedo.
You know what? No, Conal. I'm going to let you roll cool.
That seems like an under fire move.
I get to roll weird for cool shit.
All right then.
Oh god.
It comes down to this roll.
Fuck.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
Oh!
So
It's
13.
All right. You actually.
The heavens open and sick guitar music plays.
Fucking moon shoes are back, baby!
You throw it in, Conal. You do see, just as a faded shadow, as the vortex closes, just for a moment, you just see the silhouette of a man, and he extends off duplicate after duplicate after duplicate after duplicate after duplicate.
Pity, his hand is out.
Yeah.
Reaching.
Yeah, it's like he's offering something.
You want me to do this real bad?
No, I don't.
No, it's something I mentioned to Justin. It's like, we could do this.
We don't really have the
Yeah,
time for it. This is the scene that's ending
Yeah.
on. So the e-brake, the car slides.
And the vortex closes just as he's about to walk through the vortex.
Yeah, suck it, stranger.
And now it's just a crater hole. It's a pit. And the storm begins to just like blow away.
And you can actually see from the sanctuary survivors up on the hill, you can see the men in white who are walking across the fields. Their hazmat suits literally collapse in on themselves. Like there were never human bodies inside them to begin with.
Son of a...
That's some Doctor Who.
So
were they the Langoliers?
They kind of actually were.
The explanation, which we'll explain in our debrief, which you can download at terriblewarriors.com, will be that the men in white were created by the strange as a logical reason why the world was collapsing. They didn't exist. They were like creatures that the strange had justified their existence. So if you had actually killed one and opened it up, they would have been bodies of ash.
Oh man, so Gold got what he wanted in the end, which was revenge on the white guys.
Yeah, you got to solve that. So, okay, that's a weird ending, but it's an ending nonetheless. We're at our hour mark. That was our season finale. You saved the apocalypse world! And now Dr. Gold and Kitty head off on the road to be buddy cops.
I still got half an arm for you to study.
Yeah! You still gotta figure out why I crafted her in the first place. Dapper Joe escapes and returns to the strange, and the only people left in the sanctuary are the Mother Superior and the Gunlugger and the Angel, where people are alive. You dealt with that cult pretty well early on, so congratulations. For the Terrible Warriors. You can follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors. This episode will be online later this week. The entire, prequel to this game, Apocalypse World, is available at terriblewarriors.com. Your Terrible Warriors today have been Dr. Terrawat, or otherwise known as MacBeth, here on the show. We've got Bree Poisonne as Penny. We've got Shane Fitzgerald as Dapper Joe. Tom, he's an evil genius. White as our Gunlugger. Nelson, don't call him Rocky. Steve, the Blind Gamer. Saylor, come back here at 6 o'clock for Blind Gamer Live as our heart holder for the Simon Bishop. Cassie, go check out Cassie down at the NBE Showcase. You're running all the game stuff down there. It's good times. As our Angel Magnolia, my co-GM, Derek the Bard, and I've been Justin Ecock. Thank you for coming here.
You don't have to go home. You can't stay
next
here.
Time. We will see you in September.
That's a wrap on the Terrible Warriors' 4th year, and a special thank you to ConBravo for providing that space for us to record our final episode in front of a room of friends and listeners alike. You're all Terrible Warriors now. Tomorrow, we'll be releasing a debrief of our ConBravo story. Normally, our debriefs are exclusive to our Patreon supporters, but before taking our summer break and ending our 4th year, we thought we would provide this collection of conversations to you publicly. It's a little different from our normal debrief. It's actually a number of one-on-one conversations that I, Justin Ecock, had with people in the hallways, the convention floor, and later on the phone in the days after ConBravo. That will be coming out to you tomorrow, so check your RSS subscription or however it is that you get this show. How do you get this show? How do podcasts work? I've still never learned how. We're taking a break through August, but there will still be a few updates. We have some interviews with game developers, and in lieu of our usual offering of new stories recorded for you, we will be returning to the first year of Terrible Warriors all those years ago. Edited re-releases of our classic stories. And the Terrible Warriors will return in September with all new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. We've got some good ones in store for you, including Sailor Moon, Star Trek, Shadowrun, 7th Sea, Coriolis. Oh, Pugmire, we haven't forgotten about you and the Monarchies of Mao. The list goes on. Follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors to find out what's happening with the show. And support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Terrible Warriors, where you have so many good things to do with you next year. Today's Terrible Warriors and your survivors of the apocalypse world: Conal MacBeth, Bree Poisonne, Tom White, Cassie Chui, Shane Fitzgerald, Steve Saylor, Derek Burrows, and Justin Ecock. And until we meet again here at the Terrible Warrior Studios, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening, subscribing, liking, and sharing. Thank you for playing games, telling stories. And in doing so, thank you for becoming a Terrible Warrior.